Good morning, everyone. I am Diya Sinha, your SST teacher. Today, we are going to start chapter number 6 of Geography, that is Natural Vegetation and Wildlife. In this chapter, we are going to discuss about type of vegetation and wildlife. If I am saying natural vegetation, then natural term means anything which can grow without the interference of human. So in this chapter we will discuss about it. See the topics given in the chapter. See, a kind of case study is given here. First of all, we will discuss about it and then we will move further to the main topics. Salima was excited about the summer camp she was attending. She had gone to visit Manali in Himachal Pradesh along with her classmates. She recalled how surprised she was to see the changes in the landform and natural vegetation as the bus climbed higher and higher. Salima was excited because she was going to the summer camp and she had gone to visit Manali in Himachal Pradesh with her classmates. She was recalling all those moments, that how surprising all the things was at that time. She was to see the changes in the landforms and natural vegetation as the bus climbed higher and higher. So the deep jungles of the foothills comprising sal and teak slowly disappeared. She could see tall trees with thin pointed leaves and cone-shaped canopies on the mountain slopes. When their journey started, at that time there were jungles. They used to see normal type of sal and teak trees, but when they moved further, slowly all those type of trees were disappeared. Now she could see tall trees with thin pointed leaves and cone shaped canopies on the mountain slopes. There she learned that those were coniferous trees. Those kind of trees with thin pointed leaves and cone-shaped canopies, which usually appeared on the mountain slopes, were known as coniferous trees. She learned at that journey that those kind of trees were known as coniferous trees. She noticed blooms of bright flowers on tall trees. These were the rhododendrons. From Manali, as she was traveling up to Rohtang Pass, she saw that the land was covered with short grass and snow in some places. So from Salima's observations, we surmise that there is a close relationship between height of land and the character of vegetations, because when they move at higher place, then the type of vegetation also changes with the height. So there is a kind of relationship between the height of land and the character of vegetation. So with the change in height, the climate changes, and that changes natural vegetation also. The growth of vegetation depends on temperature and moisture. It also depends on factors like slope and thickness of soil. So basically, till now we have learned that there is a close relationship between the height of land and the character of vegetation. And what is that relationship? With the change in height, the climate changes, and because of that change, natural vegetation also changes. The growth of vegetation depends on mainly temperature and moisture. These are two most prominent factors through by which the whole vegetation cover mostly change. First is temperature and the second one is moisture. It also depends on factors like slope and thickness of soil. The other two are also factors on which the vegetation cover depends. So temperature, moisture, slope and thickness of soil are the prominent factors on which the natural vegetation depends. So basically these are the things, these are the factors through which we can see any kind of change in our natural vegetation, or we can find different types of natural vegetation in our environment. Temperature, moisture, slope and thickness of soil. Okay, now let's continue. The type and thickness of natural vegetation varies from place to place because of the variation in these factors. Obviously, because of the type and thickness of natural vegetation, it varies from place to place because these factors are vary from one place to another. Temperature is not same for everywhere. Every place is not having the same kind of temperature. So here, if we are feeling a little bit cold in these days, so in Delhi or in somewhere else, people are not feeling like that. So the type and thickness of natural vegetation varies from place to place because of the variation in these factors. So natural vegetation is generally classified into three broad categories. Now see what are the categories. This is the most important thing which we all have to learn in this chapter. First one is forest. Now what do you mean by the term forest? Vegetation cover which grow where temperature and rainfall are plentiful to support a tree cover. So forest mainly grow at that place where temperature and rainfall are plentiful to support the tree cover, because no one is going there to sow a seed or properly irrigate that particular seed so that sapling will appear or anything like that. So all the things used to grow there automatically without the interference of human being. So depending upon these factors, dense and open forests are grown. Second is grasslands. Grasslands grow in the region of moderate rain, where the amount of rainfall occurs in a moderate way, not too high or not too low. Third category is shrubs. Thorny shrubs and scrubs grow in the dry region mainly. Obviously, a place where we used to find scanty rainfall, then we also used to find their thorny scrubs or shrubs like cactus. So shrubs mainly used to grow in dry region. Salima was sharing her experience of Himalayan trip with her father. Her father visited various places in the world. He told Salima about his observations of the variety of vegetation in different parts of different continents. He mentioned about coniferous forest in the subpolar region, thorny bushes in the deserts, thick tropical hardwood forest in the humid regions, and many more. Then Salima realized that Himalayas have almost all variety of vegetations which one can see while moving from the equator to the polar regions. The changes in the type of natural vegetation occur mainly because of the changes of climatic condition. Okay, now let's try to understand these things in a better way. Natural vegetation. All the plants and plant life of a place growing naturally is known as natural vegetation. Natural vegetation occurs in three broad belts: forests, grasslands, and deserts or shrubs. There are two major factors on which the growth of vegetation mostly depends. They are temperature and moisture. Now, let us go to know the different types of natural vegetation of the world with their characteristic features and wildlife inhabiting there. Now, we will discuss about different types of natural vegetation and their main characteristic features. So first of all, we will discuss forests. In this topic, we will discuss about tropical evergreen forests. See, these forests are also called tropical rainforest. As we have seen, it is known as evergreen forest. So it always appears green. So these forests are also called tropical rainforest because obviously it uh, it receives a heavy rainfall throughout the year. That's why it is also known as tropical rainforest. Tropical evergreen forests have thick forests occur in the region near the equator and close to the tropics. That's why it is known as tropical because it is located in tropical areas. So these regions are hot and receive heavy rainfall throughout the year because of its tropical climatic condition obviously. So as there is no particular dry season, the trees do not shade their leaves altogether. And that's why this is the reason they are called tropical evergreen. Tropical because of its location, evergreen because these kind of forests do not shade their leaves altogether and they used to appear green throughout the year. So this is the reason they are called evergreen. The thick canopies of the closely spaced trees do not allow the sunlight to penetrate inside the forest even in the daytime because it was really fuzzy or kind of thing. That's why its canopies were thickly closely related to each other. It was so associated that even at the daytime, the canopies of the trees do not allow the sunlight to penetrate inside the forest. So it was totally dark. Even it remained dark throughout because of a lot of number of trees used to be there. That's why. So hardwood trees like rosewood, ebony, mahogany are common here. So you all have to learn the names of the trees which used to commonly find here: rosewood, ebony, mahogany, etc. The tropical evergreen forest in Brazil is so enormous that it is like the lungs of the earth. Yeah, we are talking about the Brazilian forest. Anaconda, one of the world's largest snakes, is found in the tropical rainforest obviously because there are a lot of trees. There are suitable climatic conditions for that. So it can kill and eat a large animal such as a crocodile. No one is going to stop them. There is no any human interference. So all the animal inhabitants used to live there between the number of trees, between the lap of the nature in a very peaceful way. So hope you all understood the cover topics well. Thank you.